Hi, it is iYikkam time again. So today I'd like to share with you something really important or critical. And it begins with Wing Chuner asked me, why do I put something which is not Wing Chun into my blog quit? Okay. So this is what the Wing Chuner saying that the long coming short receive naturally close in. This is not Wing Chun. Okay, according to him, this is not Wing Chun. This is belong to the Mian Zhang Quan. Okay, so why is it here in Wing Chun? This is not Wing Chun. Okay, now what the person do not read is over here. Okay, if you go to my blog, this is the last, there's a notice here, and that is what I'm saying here. Okay, so what it say here is this. It said that the line long coming short receive naturally close in describe the general short strike art. Okay, this is the general short strike art. And as many of you who watch my video will know that I keeping saying on and on that I bring this back to bound Wing Chun, because whatever quit Wing Chun have without the bond of the short strike art or limit of the short strike art, one can keep guessing and have no idea what is the short strike. So now it is putting back there because this is the generic short strike quit or riding. Then we know how is this bound. Okay, so this is like in the differential equation, this is the general solution and this is the particular solutions for Wing Chun. Okay, and why is this Wing Chun? Okay, let me explain you later. Also, the Wing Chun friend questioned me, why is this that I said come, receive, go, escort, disengage, okay, and thrust. I didn't say thrust forwards. I don't say Jek Chong. Well, let me explain to you. Because as we know in this quit, okay, Wing Chun consists of two types of thrust in or shoot in. One is the direct shoot in, like the analogy is like the bull fighting. The bull shoot in direct, okay, that is Jek Chong. And there's another one is the bullfighter, which is dodge and get in. So this just Chong, meaning that it consists of both. If I do Jek Chong here, then I limited Wing Chun. Okay, so one must really be careful for what I'm writing, okay, and the note and everything instead of jump gun on what I'm saying. Okay, now let me show you why is this line. This is belong to Mian Zhang Duan Da is now is placed in the Wing Chun, or it is Wing Chun. Okay. See, always people like to argue that, oh, you know, this is Wing Chun, this is not Wing Chun, this is Mian Zhang, this is not Wing Chun. You know what? I'm going to show you a lot of things here today, okay, by books and by evidence. Study of Chinese martial art, the research. It never is you just learn some Chinese and then you Google some Chinese and then you understand some Chinese literature and then you know that you are expert in it or you know it. It is not. Okay? Martial art is like physics. You can understand all the physics, all the English. Okay? You can understand English. You can read the physics book, understand the English in the physics book. But if one is not taking the physics class and investigate and learning the physics, one have no idea what is the physics. However, today, a lot of people, many people, thinking they understand the Chinese language, not even the classical Chinese, and then they thought that they understand what happened there. So it is exactly the same with people can say, you know, I understand English, so I read the physics books, and I understand all the physics like Newton or Einstein's. Okay, so this is a critical issue, and of course I'm saying that people don't like it because saying that, well, I'm ego. Okay, you know, like in the Silicon Valley, you have people in the Tesla like Alan Moose and a lot of good designer like Bob Whitler who have passed away and so forth. They are confident, they are not ego. And you can read them as ego also. Why? Well, am I a Buddha? Do we gonna expect Alan Moose is a Buddha? Bob Whitler is a Buddha? No, they are technical person. They are talking about technical stuff. And so here, I'm talking about technical stuff. And technical stuff you can predict. Okay? Like the Tesla. Today is a very hot engineering, the Tesla car and so forth. Look at how the predictions, okay? So let's go to the technically. Let me tell you what happened with this thing is Wing Chun or not Wing Chun, okay? Open up the mind, open up the scope. But actually, you know, we need to drop the term open up the mind or open up. You don't have to open up. You just go, if you want to study physics, you go to study physics with the formal university classroom. You don't have to open up anything, but really carefully study what is physics before one talk. That is the requirement, okay? And saying this is not that I'm ego. It's like, if you want to be a professional, you better have this professional standard. That's why you look at a lot of Chinese stuff. It is completely fuzzy, and that's why the scientists in the West will not accept that. Because in order to be in the professional grade, one need to have the professional training. Okay. Now, everybody talk about history. Everybody talk about qi. Everybody talk about everything. So when I read something, everybody go to read some book, and then they start. Everybody become expert. Okay. Well, I hope everybody become expert, but be a real expert. Get deep into it. Okay. Not to read something just to question me, but read what happened inside there. And I expect that the next generations is better than me. So to question me, one need to read whatever inside there doing the research. Can I be wrong? Sure. But if without reading the deep in depth and study in depth and start to argue, what to argue? It's like me going to argue with the Einstein, what I think, what I believe, what I translate with Google's in the physics book. Can I do that? I need to know my positions. I'm not professional physicist. Okay, if I want to argue that in the debate in that technical sense, then I have to make myself study it so that I be really a physicist. It's not about ego. It's about one need to know what is one's position, one's professional training to handle a certain thing. Okay, so this is a general Qi Guang books. This book, okay, notice here it said that authentic Shaolin, the martial scripture, Okay, this authentic Shaolin. And guess what? This authentic Shaolin is recording the Mian Zhang Qian. Okay, so I'm going to explain you, show you in details what is going on. Okay. So from this book, okay, this is General Qi Ji Guang's book, 1560. This is the page, okay, on that book talking about the martial arts, which I quote, always often quote. And over here it says Mian Zhang Duan Da, okay, the short strike from the Mian Zhang, okay, family, or the Mian Zhang short strike. Okay, this is called Mian Zhang short strike. And this thing is from Mian Zhang short strike. Okay, that's why people say, oh yeah, I know this is a Mian Zhang short strike, this is not Wing Chun. But watch out, this books is saying that it is Shaolin, authentic Shaolin. Okay, so what's going on? Okay, so this is what happened. 1560s, Qi Ji Guang time, General Qi Ji Guang time. At that time, Shaolin is practiced pole. It is good or expert in the pole techniques. However, at the end of the Ming Dynasty, okay, meaning after 1600, this is 1560. China is in a very chaotic situations, and at that time, we know that in 1644, the Qing coming in, the Qing dynasty start, and the Ming is gone. Okay, so at that period of the time of the end of the Ming dynasty, so what happened? This Mian Zhang Qian, which is written in here, Mian Zhang Duan Da, which is written, record in this Qi Ji Guang 1560 book, get into Shaolin because people, at that time, it is a tradition. When people want to get away from trouble, they go hide in the temple, and people hide in the temple, in the Shaolin. Okay, which Shaolin? We don't really know the locations. And Mian Zhang Qian get into Shaolin. Okay? So Mian Zhang Qian get into the Shaolin. Now, as we know, we have to be careful here. Shaolin at that time is the Shaolin temple. Shaolin at that time can be the code name or the nickname of the triad, the anti-Qing. Okay. However, no matter what, the Mian Zhang Qian get into Shaolin. Okay. So it spread into the Shaolin. So say this is the book of the 1784 by Zhang Henqiu. And of course, the art is much older than 1784. Over here, it said that in Shaolin, okay, they are teaching this short strike, okay, short strike, Duan Da. So you see now from 1560s, the Qi Ji Guang time, the Mian Zhang Qian is known, and then Mian Zhang Qian get into the Shaolin, okay. And in this writing, that is 12 short strike. Okay, 12 type of short strike. So you know that this short strike platform from the which is the General Qi Ji Guang talked about in 1560, now get into the Shaolin in 1600. Okay. So this thing, as we today talk about, Wing Chun is from Shaolin, Wing Chun is from Shaolin. Technically, you can see that, okay? This is how this line come from. Why is this Wing Chun? Why is this line people saying that it is a Mian Zhang Qian is Wing Chun? Because at Qi Ji Guang time, there's Mian Zhang Qian, it get into the Shaolin. Shaolin can be triad, Shaolin can be a Buddhist temple. And then it grow from there, it spread from there. And Wing Chun is what? As we know in even the Ip Man movie, they said Wing Chun is a southern sticking body short strike. Okay? Now, we always saying that Wing Chun is from Shaolin. Shaolin for what? We know today is from triad Shaolin. Shaolin is from this Shaolin, which is inherited this short strike. So the same thing is, you can see what? You can see Mei Zhuang's writing in the Yikkam 1840s, Xiu Ling Tao Kuit. And you can see the art of the Mian Zhang short strike, in generic the platform, in Wing Chun. Because Wing Chun is a short strike. The ancestor, Wing Chun ancestor is already tell you, this is a Tiet San Tuan Da or Mai San Tuan Da in Cantonese way. Okay? So that's why this is Wing Chun. Because Wing Chun is built on the Mian Zhang Tuan Da. So again, the Mian Zhang Tuan Da, Mian Zhang short strike, get into the Shaolin or whatever Shaolin mean, the triad or the temple, and then from there it developed. As here it said that by the 1780, 12 types of short strike. Okay? So, short strike is a particular name, very specific, which is showing in the Qi Ji Guang 1560s. This is the writing, okay, the short strike writing. This is the short strike writing. No, this is 1784, and this is where the Shaolin coming in to play now. Shaolin authentic. Okay. So, Wing Chun, we have the Tuan Da, which is the short strike component. We have the Mei Zhuang component. We have the White Crane component. That's how all these things fuse together, synthesize together, and become Wing Chun. So if we want to study history or technical, specifically technical history, we need to know this. It's not like, oh, I read book. This is from Mian Zhang Qian. How is it from How is it Wing Chun? Well, do you know the history? Have you trace all this thing? And have you seen what is it? It means by short strike. It is a platform. Get into the Shaolin and it spread. Okay. So, is it really that this is Shaolin? When we talk about Wing Chun is from Shaolin, is it really Shaolin? Yes and no. Yes, it's because it's from the anti-Qing triad. No, it's because it is actually from Zhang Henqiu. It's like the Taiji, Chen Taiji. Today people do research and look at that. The source is from the Qi Ji Guang writing. So you can see it's from the Qi Ji Guang writing. From writing Qi Ji Guang, one is get into the Chen family and it develop become the Taiji side. Another one is get into the whatever is the Shaolin, the triad or the monastery, the temple, and it become a short strike platform, and it derived or it evolved into different short strike. And Wing Chun is one of that short strike which is derived, which is called the sticking body short strike. from Wing Chun. Watch a Yip Man movie and go Google everywhere in the website. Okay, so this is how clear it is. Okay, nothing come out from the blue. Now, let's look at what is inside here. Look at what is inside here. Okay. So over here, it is Zhang Henqiu writing. Okay, this is Zhang Henqiu writing, which is this one. Which is this one. Okay, you can read it over here. Now, this is the name Zhang Henqiu here. This part, if you watch it, if you read it carefully, is actually a lot of things is a copy of this part of the 1560 of the General Qi Ji Guang. You can compare it. Okay. So get this book and get this book. Go research on it. Okay. I want to share this to the West because so that we need to get educated. If we want to be professional, we really need to be really professional. Otherwise people laugh at you. Technical people, real scientific people is going to laugh at you. Okay. You cannot be some kind of woo-woo or anything. Okay. So right now, look into what is this. In this Shaolin book, it is the Zhang Henqiu writing on the Mianzhang Duan Da. Okay. And that is also the Shaolin, okay, the Shaolin writing. Okay, let me show you. This is over here. He said, Shaolin Shi Duan Da. Okay. So this is Shaolin Shi Duan Da. Right now, you have this Mianzhang Duan Da from the 1560. Now it already get into the Shaolin platform. It's just why it said Shaolin Shi Duan Da. Okay. And the abandoned elbow is here in this book. See, it draw like a monk now. Okay. The picture is a monk picture now. Okay. This is not the usual people, lay people anymore. This is monk. Okay. And this is actually, there is a monk name. Let me show you here. Okay, here. Xianji Hesang. Okay, Xianji Hesang. Xianji is the name. Okay. So now you see that it get to Shaolin. And that's how the Wing Chun developed based on that. That's why when our ancestor saying that hit some Tuin Da or sticking body short strike, it's based on this, and this is based on the Mianzhang Duan Da 1560. Okay, now I want to show you one thing. Notice that this is a Shaolin Shi Duan Da. Okay, the second page of this, the second page of here, this is the second page. So I make a big this for you. Okay, and I want you to be paying attention. Okay, over here, the first here, you say Qian Wu Chun Ge. Okay, Qian Wu Chun Ge is actually meaning, this is Chun inch. Okay, meaning that fists have no inch distance. This means short strike, the characteristic of the short strike art. In inch, meaning it is short. Okay? Over here, it said that 锦衣门墙, 锦衣门墙. It means that this type of art, you have to go really close, like you're leaning at the wall. So right now, you can see why I show that the wall process. Why do I show that one has to go that close in the hugging range? Okay? Over here, it says 至顶至足, from your head to the bottom of your feet. Okay? 节转轮返. Joints is turning like a whale. Okay? To defend. And here you say defend. Okay? Now, notice that this is say join, turn like a whale. That is where the 7 bolts and the torque coming in. Okay? Look at our Changqiu set. Okay? And he said that here, 接应变换. You receive, 接 is receive, 应 means respond, 变换 is meaning that you adapt and you change a chord to it. Okay? And this is from this book, the Shaolin book. About Tuan-Tai. Now, if you want to see, see the fact, this is the fact. So, is this long coming, short receive, naturally close in Wing Chun? Without this term, how is this supposed to happen? How is this supposed to happen? How is all this thing about inch, a short strike has supposed to be happen? That line is the mother of all short strike. Okay? So again, I'm not saying that people cannot argue and must not argue and I'm the God, you have to listen to me. No. But I'm saying this. Don't try to accuse me or anything and go off topic just to be winning. Read all this thing. Do all the research before talk. Okay? Because I'm a human. Of course, I'm ego too, right? 1 time I explain, 2 times I explain, 3 times I explain. Who don't get frustrated? I get frustrated too. Because why do I have to explain 5 times, 10 times? Well, why don't we in the West go translate these 2 books and really study it and really know what it is? And then there's no argument and there's not even need to debate me or to need me to explain anything, right? It is a part of educations. Also, people talk about qi. Okay, qi. This is the principle of Chinese martial art. Okay, the principle. 内练一口气，外练筋皮骨. Okay? That is the bottom line. Okay? And then people talk about this Shen and Yi. Let me show you today. Shen and Yi, all those Qi stuff. It's not about using your mind, your mind, your Yi, to focus your Qi, to train your Qi in Dantian and all this stuff. The Taoists talk about the peel, okay, the plant or the development of the peel in the body. It's not what people think today. People today think, oh, you have this Yi, and then your intention, and then your Shen, and then you have your Qi, and then you have your peel. You know what? You want to see real thing? I show you the real thing. This is saying, okay, 神你气住, okay, 神您气住. It means that you actually solidify your 神 and then your 气. Qi is your internal energy, and it is and then you become you make the pill. Okay, now you know how is it doing do that, how to achieve that? It's not using the yi. Okay, here is saying here, 气凝住，就是所谓习，修到了习。Okay, so like the other day I share it with you. In breathing, this inhale, exhale, and rest. This inhale in Chinese is called xi. This exhale is called fu, and then this rest is called xi. Okay. The real way I'll practice that, to condense, to solidify your shen, and then to settle your qi. The first step, you need to know what? You need to know that the rest state, or rest phase, or the xi phase of the breathing. Okay, so one need to get into that phase of the breathing, the rest phase of the breathing, and that is how it calls. This called 神气合一, 神气合一. Okay, so the 神 and the qi become non-dual, become one. Okay, non-dual, one, at the breathing phase of the xi, inhale, exhale, and the rest, that rest state. It's not about I'm using my yi to think about I have the qi, all this stuff what people talk about today. Okay, so the first thing, this is talking about breathing. The second, this is talking about, if you want to talk about the shen and then the qi, you need to know the rest phase and develop the rest phase with the breathing, because rest phase is very important in breathing, and that is the phase one get into all those internal stuff. Okay, the qi and so forth. So again, I want to conclude this video. We need to know where we stand. We cannot just want to argue for sake of argue. We go read something, Google something, we heard something, here say something, and then we just going to argue whatever we like. And then when people say something, we say, well, that's ego. Well, without following this, about the qi and breathing, you know it is a mess. Why do I say so? You look at past 100 years, by records, by track records, by data. There's a massive data in today's artificial intelligence, so far we can get this massive data and look at it. Where does it go? It goes nowhere. Okay? Now I'm saying that people say, oh, Hendrik, your ego again, you know, blah, 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 blah. First, I'm not Buddha. I'm just Hendrik, presenting a technical issue here. Okay? The second thing, it is known, it can be predicted that when this thing get out to the public, that everybody have educated on that. Whatever happened today which is screwed up will melt down. Okay? And you cannot defend it. Because you know now you can get result from this. you can get result from this. All this knowing Chinese term only doesn't work. Okay? So this is to share with you today, and that's why right now more and more I get into this university education platform stuff, because I see people, human relationship and everything is very fragile. To really doing something, it has to go technical phase like the university. And so for here, here on, I give informations either, like in the university, UC Berkeley for sure, like for example, whatever the research is showing the public, whatever it is whatever it is. But if you want to learn something, you go to the university and learn it and get a qualification from that. That is what I believe, or what I see it works. At least it works in the West for past 100 years. That's why I'm saying that since the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, 1850s until today, everything works fine. Physics works fine. As all this friendship, this Chinese relationship, Sifu, all this lineage, I don't see it works, because if it works, I don't have to stay here and present all this thing to you, where the ancients said, and then I was still being accused that I'm ego. Ego for what? When I say, sure, it's going to melt down, it's going to cause meltdown. Is that I so great that it caused meltdown? I'm not Alan Moose, okay? It is going to cause meltdown because of when this get into the public, exposed in the public, people will find out, and it cannot be get covered anymore. Okay? So again, I'm not some kind of guru, and I'm not some kind of expert or anything. I just tell you, this thing exists. The West has to know what it is, but not just translate this like a literature. Okay? It's like the Chinese have to learn physics, they have to learn physics. It's not like the Chinese learn only English language and they say, well, I know physics too. That's not what it is, okay? So, I hope that this is clear for you, okay? And again, in this generation, people might hate me. And that's fine, because what I'm saying here is for the future generations. And the goal is one thing. We don't say it at this time, Wing Chun is going to go dry out. And if we want, we always keeping saying we want to be authentic, and we want to be orders or whatever, listen to the ancestor of Wing Chun. If for sure, for real, go research on this. Really study on it. Like study physics, not like just study English and make believe that we know physics. Okay. So this is what I want to leave to you today.